This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Gianna, and today we have the opportunity to hear Chris's story. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So take us back to the beginning, Chris. Who are you? What market are you in? How did you find yourself in real estate?
All right. Well, my name's Chris Drewer. I'm in the Baltimore, Maryland metro market. I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia area, Newport News. I was a store manager with Lowe's Home Improvement, and they moved me to the Baltimore metro area and to the store up here. And I spent 2 more years in retail. And I just got kind of burnt out with retail, but I knew housing. So I said a good transition would be to go into the real estate industry. I like sales. I like talking to people. I like building relationships with people. So I dove right into the real estate market in 2004. And it was a good market for a couple of years. And then we had the 2008, 2009 kind of crash. And it was a challenging market, but I got through that. And so now I've been doing this for 18 years. I just joined EXP a year and a half ago. So I was with another brokerage for about 17 years, and I joined EXP March of 2021.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Who introduced you to EXP? How did that transition go?
So one of the market leaders in our area, Lee Tassier, he was, one day we were having lunch, and it was totally unexpected. I said, look, I might start my own brokerage. And he's like, why would you do that? You need to look at this company, EXP. And I didn't know that he had already committed, he'd already signed like a letter of intent, and he was going to try it out. He has a Florida team also. So he was going to start out in Florida and then move it to Maryland if everything was good. So I watched a couple videos on it, and I was intrigued. So I immediately was hooked, and we had some other agents in our market I didn't even know were looking also. So like 5 of us came together and we rented out our building that we're in now because we wanted some space. Even though EXP doesn't technically have brick and mortar, we wanted brick and mortar just to look, and we have low cost brick and mortar. So because we all went together on the building and shared the expenses. So that's how I got introduced to it, and I haven't turned back since then.
That's awesome, Chris. And now that you're over with EXP, what is something you love about it? I mean, we've got stock options, collaborations, rev share, new training every week in EXP world. So what did you not expect about EXP that maybe now you have found that you really enjoy or utilize often?
I was very nervous about support. I was used to I knew the guy that owned my old company personally before I even got into real estate. So I knew I could get a hold of him, and it would be pretty easy to get items resolved when I needed him. But there were some days he wasn't in the office, and with EXP, you can go in the world and you can have an answer, and with anything you need, you can have an answer in 5-10 minutes. And as long as it's normal business hours, there's always someone there. If there's someone's on vacation, you don't even know about it, because when you go in there's someone there. It's going to be someone who can answer your question. I've never had a question that went unanswered, and almost everything was immediately resolved within 5 to 10 minutes. So that was very nerve-wracking for me to start with a virtual, platform, thinking I wasn't going to get quick service or I wouldn't have anyone to talk to. And then it was the opposite. It was like over-the-top service, quick service, and really reliable service. So.
Absolutely, Chris. And you make a good point on that. A lot of people are nervous to come over to EXP because it's not brick and mortar and there is a lot of technology involved, but they are here to help. This is not a model that is brand new. It's established, 83,000 agents. I mean, I think they probably know what they're doing by now.
Yeah, it's not really difficult technology. It's just different. It's a little bit different. One thing I didn't expect also was I came over with 7 agents, and now I'm up to 14 on my team. that was something I did not expect. I have people coming to me all the time asking me if I want more, if they can join my team. I think most of it is because of the shift in the market a little bit. I think people are looking for places to go where they have a support system. But also, I think people were intrigued by the platform, and they can work from home. And a lot of people like to do that. And a lot of people have moved away from going to offices, even like offices where people went for 30 years. They've changed their mindset also, not in just the real estate industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris, there's a lot of stress in this job. There's a changing market headed your way. You've got a team under you. I'm sure you've got a family and everything else that you have to devote time to. So that being said, how do you draw the line between work and play? How do you make sure you're chasing a work-life balance that everybody seems to be after, but nobody's perfected yet?
Well, I made it pretty easy. I made my daughter come to work with me. So I see her a lot because she's at the office with me. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
She's in high school, and she needed a job for the summer, and she's been working throughout the whole year part-time. So I have her working 3 or 4 days a week, 4 or 5 hours a day. So that makes it easy to spend time. And I really like seeing her learn a business instead of just working at a normal, fast food or something like that, where she wouldn't get the experience that she's getting in an office setting. And she's getting to converse with people that are older than her and seeing how, I feel like she's maturing quickly in this job. And I think she really loves it too. And she's good at it. She's doing a lot of the marketing for me. And just doing a lot of the stuff that we're giving her more and more as she gets better. So, and I set aside time. I mean, I take days off. I'm not afraid to take a day off. I mean, you have to schedule days off. I have a boat. So in the summertime, there's days where I just say I'm not working. I'll take calls, but I'm not going to schedule appointments. And I'm going to be on the boat because I can't get back in once I'm out there fast. So there's no way I could go show a house with an hour's notice.
Yeah.
So I just have someone else cover for me if we have to do it. If there's a deadline, of course, I'm going to do the best thing for my client. And I schedule vacation. I take a lot of vacations because you need the reset time. You're going to do a disservice to your clients if you burn out and don't take vacations. And everyone takes vacations in every job. So I think it's important for us to also.
Absolutely. I agree. And it's a good way to recharge. I love that you bring your daughter to work and that you're seeing a lot of benefits out of that as well. I think you've got a pretty good little balance going on, Chris. So good for you.
Yeah, and you saw I was in Orlando for the conference. I've been to most of the. I went to Cabo. I went to Orlando. I've been to Vegas for the conference, and a lot of that's work trips. But there's a lot of fun there too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of networking, and all these events are they're gold, honestly, from the relationships that you take away from them and so much more. And Chris, speaking of, EXP and being a top producer, the Icon Awards. So in your market, about how many houses do you have to sell to cap? Of course, there's 20 transactions after that, but what's the average home price look for you? How do you get to that capping point?
Average home price is around 300, probably now 325. So you're looking at, 10 to 12 before you hit your 20. So
okay.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, in some markets, I know, like in California, you only need like 1 or 2.
I know you could sell a soggy cardboard box for like $500,000. So there's that. Well, that's awesome, Chris. And it's not a crazy cap rate either. But of course, that 20 transactions after can be pretty difficult after you've already cranked out 10 to 12. And more than just production, the Icon Award is also really about that cultural commitment, which is what makes EXP so great, provides morale and a sense of culture and community. So what is your cultural commitment? Are you a mentor, coach? Do you teach lessons in EXP world, vet other icons? What do you do?
Teach classes in EXP University. I've done 4 now. I did my 4th last week. It's funny, before I got on this podcast, one of my colleagues in our office was teaching on the world from 3 to 4. So I sat in his class because we teach a similar topic. So I wanted to hear like what he said. And it was funny. I was interacting with him the whole class. But it's really neat. That's something people don't value enough. Like that, you could sit in there every single day and you could learn about a different topic from people who are 15 to 25-year veterans in this business, and it's all free. I mean, it's like you're not paying to go to these things. It's you can do it from your house. You can do it. I mean, if I was new, I would be in there all the time, just watching different classes on different topics, because this is really good information, and these people are proven experts. If they're icons, there's a reason why they're icons.
Absolutely. You're 100% right. And that proximity is power, learning from the best of the best in the industry, the top 2000. Well, I guess we have 2,400 is what I learned at Shareholders. Maybe a few more have hit that status since, probably.
I like to say top 2%. It sounds
better.
Better.
Top 2%.
Which I was shocked to figure that out there, because I didn't know that it was only 2%, 3%. Yeah.
Yeah, because Glenn and Jason said there's only 2,400 icon agents. I think we've got a little more now, but I think that I was like, that's crazy, out of 83,000 agents.
Right.
So that's pretty incredible. It's a great status to have. And speaking of that, the status, the reputation for referrals, that glass shiny big trophy that I've had an icon agent be like, my favorite thing about the trophy is I can kill someone with it.
It's pretty heavy.
It's a weapon.
It's pretty heavy and sharp, and it sits on my desk every day. It's a reminder when I look at it of all the hard work that it took.
Absolutely. And you get your cap back in stock, and opportunity to earn $2,000 to go to EXP Con and Shareholders. So what's your favorite part about the Icon Award? What makes you say I've got to do this again?
I really enjoy it. I didn't think I would enjoy it. I thought it would be more of a hassle to teach the classes, but I get as much benefit out of teaching the classes as the people who I'm teaching, I believe, because I really look forward to it. I mean, it's something that I thought I'd have to juggle my schedule to do. But once I get in there, it's like I don't know, I feel like you see the reaction. I've had people tell me that they were really down and out, and after my class, that really pumped them up and they're ready to go out and, take the world by the horns. So that really makes me feel good when I can have that impact on someone and make their day, when I'm just really talking about everything I do day to day. And it's not like it wasn't rocket science. It was stuff that is basic to me, but to someone else, they'd never heard it before. So it was just amazing to see the impact you can make on people.
Absolutely. I agree, Chris. That is, exciting. And there's so many benefits to be an icon agent, and everybody's kind of got a different point of view of that. And I love it.
But these trips too are great. I mean, I've met so many people from around the United States and the world that are EXP agents that I still keep in contact with outside of these conferences. And we'll talk to each other on a regular basis on Facebook or wherever. And when we get back to the conferences, we all get together, and it's like you have like a whole new set of colleagues and friends from around the whole country that you see every once in a while. And if I had a referral in those areas, I would definitely not hesitate to send referrals to those people. Yeah, I went on a fishing trip with a couple that I met the week we were in Cabo, and we ended up taking an offshore fishing trip the last day of the event. So you just get to know people that are like-minded, that have it's just, I don't know, I've never been part of a real estate company like it, really. So
yeah, absolutely. It's really one of a kind of a flagship for a new model, and that's why everybody's coming over here. And Chris, when it comes to iconing, is it something that, rookies or somebody that's looking to make the switch over to EXP, is that something that's realistic for them to accomplish in their first year? What are some of your secrets of making it happen, and what are some mistakes to avoid?
It's definitely attainable. We have, my teammates are, of course, half cap, and that might be a good place to start to get your feet wet. I've had some teammates come over with me the first year, and then they had half capped, and they did it really easily. And then they said, Chris, we want to go on our own. And I understand that, and that makes me feel good too, because that means I helped them promote themselves to a higher level. And then the next year they were able to hit the cap plus the 20 deals. I think the 20 deals is the hardest part. It depends on where you are. That can be a tough, if there's not as many transactions in your market, then the 20 deals can be a little tougher to hit. It's not out of the ordinary though. We see people do it all the time. It's not as hard as I thought it would be. I think I capped in 3 months last year, and this year I beat last year by 2 weeks. So it's not something that's completely unattainable. But they have set a pretty high bar, because we can't give, if everyone capped, then the company wouldn't be able to be profitable. So there has to be a level. And I think Glenn talked about that at the conference, that they may have to fluctuate how many transactions you have to do over the cap, depending on what percentage of the agents are icons.
Yeah.
That's something you have to keep. And I love that they do that. They're constantly looking at the balance. So, our stock price will reflect that. And, right now, all technology stocks and real estate stocks are kind of uncertain. So, but to me, that's a great thing, because we're able to buy stock now at a lower price. And I think it's on sale right now. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. And also with them kind of making iconing harder, it becomes even more of an elite status, right?
Right. Yeah, I do. It's crazy when you go to these conferences and they have like a icon hospitality suite where you go in and you talk to just icon agents. They make you feel special for hitting that status.
Yeah, an icon breakfast and all kinds of good stuff. And it is a special status to hit. Like you said, top 2% of the company, that's it.
Yeah, that is a big statement. So
absolutely. And Chris, when you were first introduced to EXP, were you skeptical, seemed too good to be true? What was your thought process in that?
My mind's a little different than most people. I actually, I majored in economics in college, so it was really intriguing to me. Like it did almost seem too good to be true. So I had to watch the video over and over to kind of really get, it was the Model Explain video with Brent Gove. I had to watch that a couple of times just to see if I missed something, or, what I really had to analyze it. And I don't make jumps quickly for no reason. I was with the same company for 17 years. Never been with another company except for the one I was with for 17, and then now EXP. So I'm not the type of person to jump from company to company. So it was something I had to really digest. But once I got over and saw how it operated and talked to some people who have been here, that's one thing that is amazing too. If you want to talk to someone, everyone's willing to jump on a Zoom call with you. There's 4 or 5 people who are at the top of our company who I talked to before I made the decision. And I felt like for them to make the time to talk to me was very important. And I know they have a busy schedule and they talk to a lot of people. So I don't know what company you could work with. I mean, I can call our regional vice president anytime or go on Workplace and chat with her, and she'll get right back to me. I don't know what kind of, you don't have that kind of access with other companies. I feel like Glenn's super easy to talk to. He'll come out and after he's done, for the day, and come out and we'll see him at the events, social events, and he'll talk to anyone. I mean, that's the crazy thing. Most leaders, I feel like, in big businesses are kind of hide when they're done with the day, and kind of stick with the executives and not talk to the everyday, real estate salesperson. So
absolutely. Yeah, no, you're right. And of course, too, if you are looking to reach out and find out more about EXP, like Chris said, everybody's available for a Zoom call. They're ready to talk. We live in a metaverse, so you might as well utilize that and talk to somebody, firsthand about EXP. And that being said, Chris, with all the skepticism about making the switch to EXP, if you feel like you're leaving your transactions on the table and you're scared to come over because it's a pyramid scheme, it's a cult, don't drink the Kool-Aid at EXP. So for somebody that is seeing the greener grass, they're thinking about making that move, what would you say to them? Or maybe even yourself that was having a hard time making that adjustment as well, to make that jump, take the leap, and come on over to EXP.
The way I kind of looked at it was, and I don't know if this is correct, this is the way I think, but I looked at, and a lot of people might not remember this, but I don't know. I look at Blockbuster Video, if you remember that. It was the video store. You had to go to the store. You had to pick out your video, and if it wasn't in, then you couldn't watch it that night. And then I remember Blockbuster saying, "We're not, our model is always going to be around. We're never going out of business." And then I remember Netflix. Well, first it was the Redbox. Was it Redbox? It was like they were a little more accessible. And then Netflix said, we're gonna have memberships, and you're gonna be able to download or watch it on online. And and everyone was like, oh, that's never going to work. And then almost overnight it switched over, and I don't think there's a single Blockbuster video store left.
Well, like, and at first too, they were sending the CDs to your house, I remember.
Right.
And so making it even more convenient, comes straight to you. And then now we can I don't even pay for cable or anything. I pay for Wi-Fi, and that's it. I'm always watching Netflix, and like they've got great series on there, like The Last Kingdom and stuff like that. So binge worthy. They've even got their own series now. So kind of crazy how much they've grown.
I have Netflix, Hulu, and I do have YouTube TV because I do like to watch some things that I need, but that's way cheaper than cable, and I never have to leave. And I know that any movie I want to watch is going to be there. It's not like I have to hope that someone else didn't rent it. So to me, I looked at that, and I looked at old model real estate companies, and I'm just taking a chance that this is going to be like the way of the future, and we're 10 years ahead of other companies. So I that's how I figured in my mind that I needed to give it a shot. Yeah. Absolutely. What's the worst that could happen? If I hate it, I'll go back somewhere else. Yeah. So
yeah, for sure. And that's literally what's worse that you can happen coming over to EXP. I'm sure your old brokerage would be happy to have you back, but rarely have I heard unsuccessful stories about making the switch.
Not very often, no. Unless you just don't apply yourself, but that's gonna be the case no matter what. Yeah.
Any job, any industry, you've got to apply yourself. You've got to constantly be learning. The only thing consistent in this life is change. So that being said, EXP has the tools for you to do that. Training every week, accessibility, help whenever you need it. And it's just been incredible to hear all these icon stories. And Chris, your experience as well. We're coming over 22 minutes here. Do you have anything that you want to leave the listeners with today as we wrap it up?
No, I just think that people should really, you got to listen. I mean, I think a lot of people are overwhelmed because there are a lot of people recruiting out there and sharing the knowledge, or we call it attracting more than recruiting. So it can be overwhelming, but to really just sit down and listen to it, in your own privacy or with the person that is talking to you, and that way you can ask questions while you're doing it. That was the best thing I did, was just kind of like looked at the video with another agent who was already with EXP. That way, if I had any questions, it'd be easy to tackle them right there. But you gotta give it a chance, because it is a big change. It's a huge change.
Yeah.
Someone who is reluctant to change, it's a big change. I mean, it's a difference. It's a different way of doing real estate, but it's really not that different once you get used to it. I mean, really, I still do the same thing I did at the other company, still sell houses. I still have clients. My clients don't know anything different, except for they know we have agents all over the world, which I didn't have at the other company. The other company was very small. We had a couple of offices in Maryland, and at one point they franchised out, but they all, in 2008, they all kind of closed up. So we didn't have the access. I can go on Workplace and I can type in any state I want, and I can find icon agents everywhere. And I can even call them, interview them, and look them up. Look them up on their websites, on the Facebook pages, and I can get a good gauge on what kind of business they do, and feel really confident to refer one of my clients, to any state, really, to any and other countries too, which is unheard of. I mean, I really never thought that would be possible as easy as it is. I mean, it's really simple. The systems are super easy to use. I love all the tracking material. I can track team transactions. I can track my own transactions. I know what percent my teammates are to cap, so I can push them over the edge and try to get those last transactions closed with them so they can get to the cap. And I do a big celebration. I give them a bonus on my team when they cap, and I have one of those big poster checks that I give them to them, and we do like a big social media post. We make it a really big deal when they cap, and people,
that boosts morale like crazy.
Yeah, and people don't know in the public what it means, but they just know they did something good, and we try to explain it in the post. But really, yeah, I can tell you that my team, that's all they talk about is capping. We need to get to cap. We need to do this to get the cap. So it's a self-motivator. I don't really have to. It's something I only have to push because I know that working towards that. And then once they do cap, they get to take home more. So they want to do more deals before the cap resets. So it's a constant motivation all throughout the year.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think that this has been an awesome episode. That was a great note to wrap up on, Chris. If you guys have any questions, make sure to reach out to Chris. Set up a coffee day at EXPCon or, a happy hour via Zoom. Who cares? Just figure it out. You can make it fun. Ask your questions, maybe about EXP or how to build a team or anything else. And I think Chris would be happy to field those for you.
I would definitely be.
Awesome. Well, Chris, thank you for your time today. And I plan on seeing you at EXPCon then.
I will be there. Definitely.
Awesome. Sounds good. We'll talk to you soon, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye-bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.